Hello and welcome, I'm Sunny and this is a demo for my project on JMeter Request API checks. So Request is a free API that's available and you can ping it and it will give you out what the endpoints are, what the response is, and if it requires any external data. Now JMeter is a performance testing tool, so you can do load and stress testing. That's basically the positive and negative tests if you're doing functional tests. But this project basically transforms JMeter into Postman. We can do performance testing, but just to showcase it here, I have kept the number of threads as 1, the ramp up period as 1, and loop count as 1. So threads basically means how many users should JMeter emulate pinging the API. Ramp up period simply means the max time limit by which all users are active. So let's say you have 10 users and the ramp up period is 30 seconds. So that means every 3 seconds JMeter will create a new user. Loop count, as the statement suggests, is the loop. How many times do you want this test plan to execute? So let's give it a show. All you have to do is just press play or start, and now we wait. So right here is the execution time, this is any errors if there are there, and the count. This is the number of threads, and that thing that turned green for a few seconds, that was showing whether the JMeter is executing or not. Now the way the things I have created in this is, as you can see, delete is one block, get is one, post, put, and patch is another block. Now as for the API endpoints, see API users, you have API unknown, here you have API register, all of that along with this numbers 2, 23, 23, all of that is stored in user-defined variables right here. So you don't have to manually change it in every single request. As for the base URL, that's right here. It's in request defaults. So in all of these is what I'm doing is actually adding the path from the user-defined variables. So if you go into delete requests, here see, it says users and valid. So users and valid is being picked up from here. Users is this and valid is number 2. So your delete request becomes like this, API users /2. Now I have done here is a response assertion, so we are checking the response code that it should be a 204 and click on result tree and it's a pass. You can actually see it here as well, the details of what happened, and here it is, see, response code 204. To make sure we got the right one, we can click on request. The request body is actually delete, and that's the entire URL. Response data should be empty because it doesn't give a response back. Now the fun thing about this is if you go into bigger requests, like delete has only one, bigger requests like get, I have put a view results tree for the generic one, so every single get response you can check out here, or you can open up single tests such as list users. That's the first one. You can open that and you have the view results tree here as well. Now to summarize, as you can see in delete users I have just a response assertion, but here I'm also adding something new, and that's the JSON assertion. So what this does is it checks the message body, the response body, checks the key total and puts in the expected value of 12. So we're checking this thing, total. So if I wanted to let's say check data, it would have been something on the lines of $.data.id7. So we can check on results tree here, and here it is, see, response code is 200, that's fine. Request body is the exact same thing as shown here, and you can check the response data, which is this. Now there is a thing, and that is for post requests, you need a message body, such as that. Put requires the same, patch requires the same. Now all of that data is actually stored in a CSV file, which is this. So instead of manually entering it for every single post request or patch request, we have a while loop over here. This is a while controller. It's iterating on the name variable. Now name variable is coming in from CSV dataset config. See, name, job, and verb. That's how the CSV file is made. So Morpheus is name, leader is job, and post is the action, what we're doing. Debug sampler is here just to make sure that it iterated over the CSV file properly, so you can go view results tree and can show you whether it did or not. So if I go into response data, see, and do keep in mind the debug sampler that I have set up also picks up on user defined variables, so that's why you will see login, name, and register show up here. But what we are looking for is name, job, and verb. So job is leader, verb is post, name is Morpheus. That's the first one. So if we go to the second one, here it is. Job is pistol, verb is post, and name is evehold@request.in. That's the second one. So it looped over the CSV file properly. Same goes for post. We have a generic view results tree, or if you want to look at individual ones, you can go here and check them out yourself. The same goes for put and patch, and that's about it. So currently this thing is behaving like Postman and we can ping APIs. But if you want to do stress testing or load testing, just increase these two variables. And the third one, if you want to do the test plan multiple times, and we can do the stress test. This is my project on JMeter called API Check.